These are the plaintiffs, Christina Salvaggio and Larry Mansour. Christina says she's been friends with the defendant for years, and the defendant has always had a thing for her. Well, once he found out she got married to Larry, he intentionally cut some wires on her furnace, and they were without heat for an entire winter. Can you believe some people? They're suing for $5,000, the cost of fixing the damage the defendant caused. This is the defendant, Michael Bracco. He says the plaintiff's furnace was acting up and he tried to fix it for them out of the goodness of his heart. He didn't know what was wrong with it, so Christina brought in another guy, and he was the one who broke it. Next thing he knows, he's being sued by someone he thought was still his friend. Christina's clearly losing it because she even tried to run his son over in her car, and he now avoids her like the plague. He's accused of cutting ties.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Christina Salvaggio?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
And Larry Mansour?
Yes.
You are suing Michael Bracco? Mm-hmm. Okay. For $5,000, the cost of a new furnace?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it? Plus installation, plus pain and suffering of being without heat all winter, because according to you, he damaged your furnace.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
me what's going on.
We had the first snowfall back in October. I believe it was on or about October 23rd. And that was the first time we put the unit on since we just bought the house. We had moved in April, so we didn't need the heat up to that point. So when that snowfall happened, we put the heat on. And my mother and I both smelled something, and my mom yelled to, turn it off and to call National Grid. And I complied. I shut it off. I called National Grid, and they came to the house, and they found I don't know what they're called, but I think they're flame strips. That's where the flames come out of.
Uh-huh.
They were clogged, and he said, you should shut this off and get them cleaned and then use it because there's a capacity of carbon monoxide that can escape and, cause injury or death. And that's when I went to 7-Eleven a couple of days later, and I asked a friend of ours, a mutual friend, Bucky, how do I clean them?
How do you clean them?
Yeah.
The fellow tells you that there's a chance of death, the risk of death, and you want to clean them yourself?
Oh, no. You can. They're wide enough holes if you...
How many times have you done that?
I've never done it.
Exactly. All right, so go on.
So I asked Bucky, how do I go about cleaning them?
We better hope Bucky knows what he's talking about. Go ahead.
And how much would it be if we didn't clean them to replace them? He said, you don't have to replace them. He said, just clean them. It's easy. 1, 2, 3, you take a pin, you vacuum them. We do it all the time. People don't replace them.
What does Bucky do for a living?
I'm not sure.
Oh, then why are you so confident Bucky knows what he's talking about?
Because he does he's a handy guy. And he has his own furnace that he's done it to, according to himself.
So did Bucky come do it for you?
No, I had mentioned it to Michael, and Michael offered to help me, and I took the strips over to his house. In front of his house, he cleaned them.
What are you disconnected the strips?
No, they're not connected to anything. They just basically lay in the unit. There's 4 of them.
Okay.
And him and I cleaned them. We vacuumed them first, and then he came back to my house with the vacuum cleaner. I poked the holes in them, he vacuumed, and then he vacuumed inside the unit, which I told him, he didn't have to do that. I was going to have him do it to help out.
Okay, he's your husband.
Correct.
Okay, go on.
So that's why I said, Michael, don't do that.
He's not handy?
Well, he's not handy in the capacity of what him and I were doing.
Okay, and how do you know each other?
Michael and I?
Yeah.
We met at 7-Eleven about 10 years ago.
Oh, that 7-Eleven's hopping. The same 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I told him, you don't have to vacuum that.
But wait, and in those 10 years, what happened? You guys became friends?
Oh, we were definitely friends. Me, my mother, him, and his wife, now it's his ex-wife.
Uh-huh. Okay. So the vacuuming goes on.
He was vacuuming, and then I said, no, Michael, don't do that. I said, that's something at least Larry could do to help out.
Yeah, man, let Larry do something.
So he continued to do it, and it was nice of him to do that.
Okay.
So put it on. I went upstairs because my mother called me to go upstairs. He was putting the strips back into the unit, and I came back down, and the unit never went back on again.
Okay.
And he said, you need a new electronic igniter, pilot igniter. So I replaced it. Then it didn't go back on again.
How did you replace it?
We went to ABCO.
And then he installed it?
Michael installed it.
And then?
It didn't go back on.
Okay.
Then he said, you need a new gas valve.
Okay.
I trusted him.
Okay.
I bought a new gas valve.
And then?
The unit didn't go back on.
Okay.
So,
And how do you know so much about furnaces?
I am electrician, local 3. We know a little about furnace.
you're okay.
Yes. I'm not
Who
special.
fixes furnaces? Electricians?
Actually, we both. We do the wiring
both?
and plumbers.
Plumbers.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so go on.
so just never went
What I'm
back
not
on.
getting is you originally had a problem where you had to turn it off.
No.
Excuse me, that was exactly your testimony. You smelled something, your mother smelled something, you had to call National Grid, you had to turn it off because it was smoking, right?
No,
You were
no, it was
What were you
on.
smelling, gas?
No, it was on. The furnace was working. I also
And
have.
then you had to turn it off because you were smelling gas, you and your mother.
There was no gas leak.
Okay, tell me why you called National Grid.
We smelled something.
What'd you smell?
We weren't sure what we smelled.
You smell something, you don't know what it is, but it causes you to call the gas company. The gas company comes out and tells you you need to clean some things. Show me the paperwork from National Grid.
I don't have National Grid's paperwork.
Why
National
not?
Grid didn't give me paperwork because there was no leak.
Okay.
He just
So
said that-
Michael comes out there with you and does exactly the following: cleans the stuff that Bucky told you needed cleaning.
We both did.
And you were there too. So you pop the thing, you vacuum, and then the next thing that happens is that your thing won't turn on. Is there anything else he did besides you pop the
It never
whole-
went on again.
I
It was
understand. What did he
working.
do to make that happen?
Well, I just want to step back a second to
No,
National
I need
Grid.
an answer to my question, and if you refuse to answer it, I can't do
Oh, no,
anything
I'm
else.
going to give you an answer to your question, but you said something and I have
After the cleaning, what else did he do before it wouldn't turn on? Or are those the
He
steps?
cut wires.
That's before it wouldn't turn on?
after.
I know that. That's why I'm asking you, because I'm listening very closely to you. After the cleaning, nothing else happened when it wouldn't turn on, correct?
He cut the wire when I went upstairs the day that we vacuumed
After
him.
the cleaning, did anything else happen before it wouldn't turn on?
He cut the wire.
So now you're saying he cut the wire before it wouldn't turn on?
No, I'm telling you that's how it happened.
Okay.
He cut the wire.
I'm not going to ask you a 10th time. Tell me what happened.
She called National Grid, the gas company. They shut the unit off. I said, why? She says, we turned it on. Me and my mother smelled something. She says, and they shut it off. I said, okay, you have to call somebody. She told me, if you do me a favor, come look. I did her a favor, like she said, helped her. Airbrushed out the tubes with the compressor, blew all the garbage out of it. Put it back in, turned the unit on.
Did you do anything between the vacuuming
No.
and the turning on of the unit?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, and then you turn on the unit and what happened? Who turned off the unit? National Grid?
National Grid
Okay,
did. They have a card on the gas valve
That says,
that they shut it off.
you don't have a picture of that?
No, I
All right.
don't, Your Honor.
So
I didn't
it
get
got
that.
turned on and then what?
It ignited and it goes on, off, intermittent. I said, Christina, you did that. There's nothing more we can do. You have to call somebody who's professional. I went over, did that with her, and checked all the electrical. I'm an electrician. My two brothers are plumbers. When she said to me, she started arguing, I have no money, my husband has no money. I went as far as calling my brothers, who are plumbers, and we walked through it, and we changed the electronic igniter. Put it on, same thing.
Okay, does this all happening in one day or during the course of weeks?
Course of weeks.
Okay.
Then, once I put the electronic igniter, she wasn't going on. There's something more to it. So I told her, you have to call somebody. I don't specialize in it. And she heard
Why are
everything.
you going through all this effort? I mean, I understand that you want to help a friend, but why so much?
Because then she started getting mad because she had no money, this and that, and then I tried to be more of a friend. And this is what happens.
Tell me everything else that you did with her furnace. At some point, she is complaining that you spliced wires. When is that? I bet
The
you
only
cut wires.
wire, Your Honor, the only wire that I did disconnect, which any electrician, any plumber would do, is follow their humidifier that was on this heating unit and air conditioning unit, was corroded. The lines were cut. Water lines were cut. The filter was acid. So anyone would disconnect that, and the furnace would still work.
And then, but why? When you disconnect that, what is it you're depriving yourself of?
You eliminate what the heating does with the humidifier.
Which is what?
Humidifier usually puts mist into the heating system.
So you'd have excessively dry heat, but at least you'd have heat.
You would have mist air, not dry where you get bloody noses.
Okay,
And
so you did cut 2 wires, but that had to do with the humidifier.
Humidifier, nothing with the units.
And is there anything else that you did? You put in the
gas
new
valve.
all right.
Then, when we went
You
to
put in a gas valve, you put in a new electronic igniter.
and it
None
was
of that
still
stuff
happening.
worked.
Exactly.
And then what happened? Did you finally give up?
Yes,
Okay.
and I told her you got to call someone.
Okay. Now,
By
did
that
you
time-
call? Stop. Did you call someone?
My mother called her friend's plumber.
Did that person fix it?
Oh, no, he wouldn't touch it. And
Okay,
that's
let me see
what. This is pretty much what was documented here in A1 Plumbing.
And that was when? End of November?
That was yesterday.
Oh, that was yesterday?
I had to get an estimate for the court.
Okay, no, but my question was, when did you call them out? Yesterday is when you called them out for court?
This man, yes.
Okay,
My
what
mother's-
other man? Your mother's friend was called out when?
He was called out about the day or 2 before Thanksgiving.
Okay, and where's the paperwork from that fellow?
He doesn't own a company. He works for a company.
So the answer is you have no paperwork?
Not from him, no.
Okay, so these people who you called out yesterday
And I have this one for a
says,
couple
check
of days ago.
furnace, found parts hanging and wires cut. Well, we know that. Furnace not repaired, we know that too. Customer wants damage documented, okay. And this one says install new heater, $1,700. Now, let's discuss what you're suing for. $617.99 is the cost of a new unit. All right, in your complaint, you said something I wanted to follow up on, which was that when the company came out to give us an estimate to install a new unit, they told us the unit we purchased for over $600 was not the right one.
We were told that that particular furnace that we bought is too large.
But why does he have to pay because you bought the wrong furnace?
It's just that we would not have had to buy the furnace had he not cut the wires.
But even if it's true, even if what you're saying is true, which we'll talk about in a second, why would he have to pay because you guys make a mistake and pick out a furnace that's not the right one? That doesn't make any sense. Now there's $1,700 estimate for installation of a unit plus cost for a new usable unit. And then suffering without heat all winter. You could have, if you had the money, you could have replaced the furnace in the beginning of the winter and you wouldn't have had to suffer without heat all winter, right? And here's really the problem with your lawsuit. The problem with your lawsuit is that you are asking him to pay for a heating system for you that isn't working when all he is the friend you called who tried to fix your heating system but wasn't successful at it. And your reasoning for that is what? Because in the beginning, we know you already had a problem before you called him out there.
He was trying to help us. I understand that. And because we had limited money, because we just are first-time homeowners. But what I'm trying to explain to you is the day that we were cleaning the strips, what I was trying to say before is when I went upstairs, there were no wires hanging on my unit whatsoever. My unit was in working order according to the inspection before we moved in the house.
Give me the inspection.
I gave it to Douglas. Okay. And it was also in working order the day National Grid came. They only came because we were smelling something. The guy says when you first put it on, that is a normal smell. But he told us to not use the unit until we clean those flame strips.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So would you ask a friend to do something for you with the house, something important, then doesn't turn out right, you sue them because the job wasn't right?
Well, they've done that to me, but I haven't sued them for it.
What'd they do to you?
My furnace was not fixed properly.
Oh my God, and this is the same thing.
Yes, but that could be detrimental to your, health. I mean,
it could. I could indeed.
Yeah,
would you sue the person?
Definitely not. If it's a friend, I wouldn't do it. No, sir.
What do you think, ma'am?
I wouldn't. If it was something that important, I would ask a professional to do it.
They're all lying. Going inside the courtroom.
Heating unit original, corrosion and deteriorate noted to heat exchange. Should be looked over to determine if replacement necessary. Operable at time of inspection, but is showing significant deterioration. This type of medium quality builder's stock unit is usually good for about 15 years before replacement is necessary. How old was the house?
Since 1998.
Corrosion and deterioration is evident on the heat exchanger as well as the flame dancing. We absolutely cannot and will not guarantee the integrity of the cooperation of this heating service due to its age. Suggest having evaluated by an HVAC contractor to determine if there's any life left in the unit or if replacement is necessary.
It was in working order.
Okay. Oh, come on, guys. Seriously?
No, with all due...
I just read what I read, and
yes.
you don't think that's going to have bearing?
No.
We're not going to give you something. It said it was in working order. We would have made the people one of the conditions of buying the home.
Something bad happened to your furnace. I just want to know how you're pinning the whole thing on him.
Because there were cut wires.
What did he do? You tell me, Larry. What did he do?
He wasn't there.
Well, Christina was the witness, but she's telling me there were cut wires, and here are wires that are cut.
But now what I need is somebody telling me that cut wires get spliced. That's how you resolve a cut wire.
You're not
cut wire doesn't break a furnace. The cut wire goes to the humidifier. It means that you won't have humid air.
No, that's not what he cut.
No, now I want you to show me proof of that other than your flapping gums. I need something that says it's his fault, because that's what your lawsuit's about. Your lawsuit is saying it's your fault I need a new furnace. And that's what I'm not seeing here when I see an inspection talking about how deteriorated it is and it's on its last leg. I have the thing turned off because there was a problem and National Grid came in and said, whoa, you got a problem and you got to clean it. I have him doing nothing but cleaning it before it doesn't turn on. How do I pin $5 grand on him like that? I have the answer to that. I don't.
The picture shows he
If
cut.
you don't have evidence from a contractor that the cutting of the wires cost you to have to put a new furnace, you don't have evidence to pin the new furnace on him.
I have evidence that he cut the wires on the gas valve.
Why would? Can I ask you a question? You actually say that he did this maliciously.
That's correct.
Why do you say that?
Because he's jealous and he was mad when he found out I married Larry. I didn't tell him I got married right away. I told him in October.
You could can I say something?
No, wait, I want to understand what you're saying first.
Well, I told him in October I got married to Larry, and he was pissed because even when he was married to his wife, he used to put the make on me, but I told him I was with Larry. I've been with Larry for 11 years, almost 12 years. We just got married in August. He didn't mind that he was married, so he figured now that he's divorced, I'm still with Larry, but I'm married, he's still hitting on me, and I always rejected him. But I think he did that because I got married. He didn't like it.
Can I add something to
that? Did you cut wires because she got married and you didn't like it?
It's news to me, Your Honor.
Yeah, news to him.
I told her to marry the guy so she gets the house that she wanted.
Yeah,
she wants to be on the deed.
According to you, she tried to run over your kid?
My son's 15 years old, and she said to me, she goes, oh, I apologize. I almost hit your son on Forest Avenue. I said, I don't want to hear it. We'll leave that alone. We're friends. I don't want to hear it.
Then, but at this point, you're not friends because she's mad at you.
Now, after the furnace, she's been like fuming. My son came over in front of my ex-wife, said she comes speeding down Forest Avenue, almost hit him again. I said, did you take a picture? He says, no, Dad. I'm like, what's the matter with you?
Idea.
Wait, how's the guy going to take a picture?
Well,
I mean, better he run than take a picture.
Exactly.
What are you
call 911.
Stop and take a picture. Whoa.
Yeah, he'd get hit. Exactly. So with that and all the stuff that she's been doing on Twitter and everything else.
What is she doing on Twitter?
Oh, she's destroying my kids and me.
Wait, how is she destroying your kids?
Oh, she puts, I'm going to get in touch with ACS.
Don't.
Why ACS?
Oh, that's children's welfare.
No, why ACS? What does that have to do with anything with the furnace?
I have no idea.
No, well, you're the guy saying it, so what are you saying?
Well,
what did she put on Twitter? You know what she put.
Yeah, she's saying I'm a bad parent, the kid's doing drugs, the other one's not going to school.
Are you putting that stuff on Twitter?
She is.
I am.
And then my ex-wife approached her to
There's a reason why I did that.
Why would you
my
do
father
that?
just passed away. And he was making fun because I didn't have a tight relationship with my father. And he was putting on Twitter that you were rejected. Your father didn't love you.
Why are you grown-ups doing this stuff?
Well, his son is doing
drugs. Do this?
I did not do that.
I never tried to run his son over.
If I catch my 14-year-old kid doing this, I would ground her for months.
I never tried to run his son over.
Can I please?
There is a police report, Christina.
Please allow me to respond.
Okay, yes.
Yes, Christina put that on Twitter because Michael's son showed Christina paraphernalia, drug paraphernalia, including...
Stop.
But that's why she put it on Twitter, because she told Michael the kid needs help.
No, that's not a defense. You know what a defense is? Somebody shows you, a child shows you drug paraphernalia, you pick up the phone and you call the ACS. Or you pick up the phone and you call the mother if you think the father's a bad father. That's what you do if you're truly concerned about something. I'm in the middle of a sentence. That's what you do if you're just a good person concerned about something. If you blab it on Twitter, you're just trying to hurt somebody. So what you said is not a defense to that, but I don't really want to know anymore because I have enough to rule on the case in front of me. We have a saying in Spanish, lo barato sale caro. The cheap comes out expensive. And that's where you are. You've had no heat all winter. You've put out a couple $100 here and there to try to fix it. It didn't work. And in the end, you now have a furnace that is exactly what your inspector predicted might happen. And therefore, you should have a professional HVAC guy take a look at it and figure out what the problem is because the thing was on its last leg. And when something is on its last leg and then it dies, you have a hell of a time proving in court that it died because this guy cut a wire. Verdict for the defendant.
You didn't even let me show you evidence that he cut wires on the gas valve.
This is your chance right here. I wouldn't blow this. This is your chance to say something out here in the hallway here.
Don't say
Have the
a
last word.
Let's go.
Why not? This is a chance to
Let's
say
go,
whatever you
Larry.
want to say.
Let's go. Go act your comedy, you judge over there, you know? She has a nerve to judge, rule against us.
All right, so come on in here. Step on in here. What's your reaction to this?
Oh, it was done fair. She was properly doing the right thing, and as a friend, you try to do stuff, and you know what? When you prove what you can, and then you got nothing else better. But the judge did a nice.
You had the hots for her. She seems like she's kind of tough.
Oh, please! I wouldn't want that anywhere.
Wrong way.
Okay. Harvey.
Okay, my 2 cents, you kind of get the idea that this woman just rages when it doesn't go her way, and this might also kind of be an explanation as to what really happened with this furnace. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.